this is Ginger from My Sister Scrapper. Today I want to share a project with you that I created using the Club G45 Joy to the World Angelic Altered Book Box. So what I did was I took the contents of the Club G45 kit, and this project was designed by the amazing Robin Shakur, which is lovely. And so what I did was I took everything that was in the kit and I added a couple of things and kind of changed it around a little bit. So that's what I want to share with you, and then I'll show you how I did the changes. So again, this is the Joy to the World Angelic Altered Book Box Club G45 kit, designed by Robin Shakur. And here's what I did. Basically, I followed the instructions for the decorating. I did add some glittered corrugated cardboard here on the front. These were all the fussy cut layers and the metal embellishments that she had added in the kit originally. I changed up the ribbon because I didn't have any ivory satin, so I had this pretty peach and pink ribbon, and I just used that instead. And then the design papers were the same here and on the back of the bottom of the box. I did change up the sides and added an extra sticker here and then a strip of that corrugated cardboard along the front. So it unties like this. And in the original project, you alter the book box, which is lovely. And then you also take the tags that come with the book box and you make a trio of cards using the tags. So what I did is I basically combined the two projects together, and I went ahead and added the cards and made them pages and turned it into a little mini album. So I altered the box and added pages to make it a mini album. So again, on the inside front here, I decorated the same as she did, but again, I did add a strip of that corrugated cardboard. And then the only other element that I added to the project was the patterns and solids from this collection. So I added corrugated cardboard and the patterns and solids, but the rest were all the contents of the kit, with the exception, obviously, of the ribbon. So what I did was I altered the box so I could add a hinge and add pages, and I have 5 pages in here. And these are the tags that were altered, and I just put them on the front of the pages, and then I made little inserts here with, again, some of the patterns and solids and some ivory cardstock to go inside the little pocket pages here. And then you flip it over, and then the backs of the pages on some of them are the back sides of the cards, or the insides of the cards, I should say, from the original kit. So that's got a cute little pocket and tag there. Again, I added some more pages here, and I used the remainder of the pockets and tag elements right here. Again, another cute little photo mat here and a photo mat here. And these are the patterns and solids, the striped and the pink, and I focused mainly on the pinkish red color here. Again, another little element from the pockets and tags that was included in the kit. And here's the second altered tag. And again, I did the whole white gel stitching around the sides and everything. Again, I followed everything that she did. I just added some extra stuff and just, instead of 2 projects, I combined it to make 1. Again, some more cute little pockets and tags. Made a little tuck spot there. And again, another photo mat here. I think I have 3 like this and 2 of the green. Again, another text spot, another photo mat, and here's the 3rd tag in the back. And then on the back of the box, I did add an extra little element here from the cut apart page, and then tucked in the rest of the little tags from the pockets and tags. So that's the little altered angelic book box that I created with the original Club G45 Joy to the World, and I combined both of them. So I'm going to show you how I altered the box to turn it into a mini album in a box. So again, the kit comes with the craft, but I didn't have an extra craft, so I'm going to use the ivory one. They're the same size, and you get the 3 tags. So you're going to take your book box and you're going to take the packaging off. You're going to take the 3 tags out, 'cause that's what you're going to use to decorate your pages. And in order to make the box an actual book, we need to remove this piece of the book, or the box. So you're going to need a craft knife. And you're going to take your craft knife and along the side here, because we want to take this piece off, so this will become the spine of our book. So it's pretty simple. You just need to take your time, and you're going to go ahead and right where the seam is, where the corners match, you're just going to go ahead and take several swipes with your craft knife just to break up the paper there. So you're going to go along both sides like this. And you're going to go both sides here and here, and then along the bottom. And it's okay if it looks a little ratty because we're going to cover it up with the paper, so it's okay if it's not perfect. But if you just cut right where the papers are, you'll be able to take a piece right off. And you can see right where the pieces come together. You don't want to cut the chipboard, you just want to cut the papers. Okay, just like this. Okay, so as you can see, that doesn't look real attractive, but that's okay. We're going to cover all of that up with our hinge mechanism. So then you can take this piece and you can either toss it or you can use it as in a replacement for some foam tape or whatever to add some dimension to one of your projects. But that's how you take that piece off. And then what's going to happen is we're going to make this be the spine. So what you're going to need to make the spine is, again, I added the patterns and solids that match the collection, and I'm going to use I use the red for this, but I'm going to use the gold for this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our hinge mechanism, and your hinge mechanism needs to be 6 1/4 by 12. And then you're going to need your scoreboard and your score tape. And we're going to make a hinge binding system here. So you're going to take your paper that again is 6 1/4 by 12. You're going to put it in your scoreboard with the 12 inches across the top. And your first score mark is going to be at 2 inches. They're going to make 5 pages. So we're going to do 2, 2 1/2, and 3. And then we're going to count over 3/8 of an inch. And then we're going to count over another 1/2 inch, and another 1/2 inch, and then another 3/8 for the gusset, and then another 1/2, and another 1/2, and another 3/8, and another 1/2, another 1/2, and a 3/8. And let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now you can trim this off so you have 2 inches here and 2 inches here, but no, we're going to cover it up, so it doesn't really matter. So that's all the scoring we're going to do. Your first score mark again is at 2. Your last one's going to be at 8 1/2. And you're going to have a 3/8 inch gusset. So you're going to score at 2, 2 1/2, 3, 3 3/8, 3 7/8, 4 3/8, 4 3/4, 5 1/4, 5 3/4, 6 1/8, 6 5/8, 7 1/8, 7 1/2, 8, and 8 1/2. Okay. Down with our scoreboard. Then you're going to flip it over and you're going to add your adhesive to your hinge. So the way I like to do it is I like to go ahead and fold on every third score line, just so I know where to put my tape, because we want to take the 2 1/2 inch gussets and adhere those together. I know it's kind of hard to see on this gold, but So now I'm going to add my adhesive to my hinges, and I'm going to use 3/8 inch score tape. Okay, so you're going to take the tape backing off, and we've already folded, so we know we just need to go ahead and fold on that crease. And then we're going to fold back on this one, and I like to stand it up and rock it back and forth. And that keeps the hinge straight. So there's our first hinge. So we're going to repeat that process for the next one. Again, we're going to take the backing off. We've already folded it, so we know which one is supposed to match. And then again, stand it up and rock it back and forth. And there's our second hinge. So just continue doing that until you get 5 hinges. Okay, so there's our hinge mechanism. Now, I like to add my adhesive to the hinges before I put it in the book. So we're going to go ahead and take our 1/4 inch score tape, because you want to, when you go to put your pages, you don't want to put your pages all the way down to the bottom of your hinge. Otherwise, your pages don't turn and your pages won't lay flat in your book. So that's why I like to use the 1/4 inch score tape. And you're going to apply your adhesive to the top of the hinge, so close to the top fold on both sides. So we're going to add a piece here, flip it over, and add a piece to the other side. Just like that. So as you can see, there's the bottom of the hinge, and we have a tape along the top. So when we go to put our page on, that's going to be our guideline. We're just only going to put our page down that far. Okay? So go ahead and add tape to the rest of your hinges. Okay, so there's our cute little hinges. So now, before we add them to our book, we're going to make our pages. And they're just a real simple little pocket page, but I wanted to make sure that they would fit in here. So let me get the measurements for that. You're going to make each page, you're going to need a piece that measures 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and then another piece that measures 4 1/4 by 7 1/4. So you're going to grab your scoreboard again, and we're going to score one of those pieces. So again, we've got 2 pieces. You'll need a piece that measures 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and a piece that measures 4 1/4 by 7 1/4. So you need those pieces to make one page. So if you're going to do 5 pages, you need 5 of this size and 5 of this size. So we're not going to score the 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. That's going to be the size of our page. We just need to score the 4 1/4 by 7 1/4. And it's really simple. You're going to put it in there with the 7 1/4 inches right across the top. And you're going to score it at a 1/2 inch. And then flip it around and score it at a 1/2 inch again. so you have a 1/2 inch score line on both ends. And you're going to go ahead and fold on your score line like this. And then you're going to flip it over and burnish it. And then you're going to add your tape to your tabs. Like so. And then you're going to take your scissors, and I just like to give these little tabs a little trim here. Just like so, just a small, right where the score line is, and angle up. So, and then we're going to take our page that we didn't score, and we're going to attach it to the, just like so. And that's going to create a little sleeve or a pocket page. So the way I like to attach these is I just lay them down like this, flat, with the right side facing down on the table, the tabs facing up. I'm going to pull the backing off my score tape. I'm going to put the raw edge up with the folded edge of the tab, fold it over and stick it down. Take the backing off the other tab, like so. Fold this over. It should fit. I did the math right. There you go. Super easy. There's our cute little pocket page. So the left side is going to sit down on our hinge, and this is going to be the opening for our little pull-out if you want to add a photo mat, or you can just stick photos in there, either one. Okay, so you're going to need 5 of these. We're going to grab our little book box here with our hinge mechanism, and we're going to add this to our book. So what you want to do first is we need to cover up this raw edge. Now you could use cardstock to match your box, like ivory, or in that instance, the one that comes in the kit is the craft, but I opted to use one that was going to match my hinge. So I just trimmed some little pieces, and you want to measure the height of your box. They're pretty much the same, but just to be on the safe side. And I did it as close as I could. So it measured like 2 1/4. I made them 2 1/4 high by 2 inches wide. And we're just gonna attach that to one side and then fold it over on the back side. And if it's a little tall, you can trim them a little bit so it's not quite 2 1/4. But it's almost. So we're gonna trim it just a little bit on the 2 1/4 side. And that fits a little better. So just go ahead and add your adhesive. Now you can use wet glue, you can use score tape, whichever you prefer. I'm just going to use a little bit of wet glue here so I can maneuver it around. So again, I made these a little shorter than 2 1/4, and I made them 2 inches wide. Because we're going to add paper to the sides and the inside of the box. We just want to cover up that raw edge of the chipboard so it doesn't show. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, so our little sides are covered. Now we're going to take our hinge, we're going to add our adhesive to the back and our hinge. The hinges are going to rest right here. This is now going to be the spine of our book. So we're going to center that right there, and it should just fit inside the book box. We're going to center it left to right and top to bottom. And go ahead and adhere this all down, and that covers up the raw edge of our chipboard that we eliminated. So we're going to have our score tape to the back of that, and you can use whatever adhesive you want. When I'm adding a mechanism, I like to use score tape. So we're going to cover the full back of our hinge mechanism. Okay, so we have our tape along the back here, and we're going to add this to our box, but we want to make sure our pages are going to fit. Now, normally when I make a mini album, I always make my hinges a 1/4 inch smaller than my pages, so that way I don't have to worry about fighting to get them on. But because we wanted to make sure and cover everything, our hinges are going to be the same size as our pages. So in order to make sure our pages are going to fit on there, we're going to take our scissors and we're going to angle each one of the hinges. So you're going to take your scissors, and just like we did the little tabs on our pages, you're going to put it right next to that little score line, and you're going to clip up. Get rid of some of that excess tape I kind of have. So you're going to do that to all 5 of your hinges. I like to do one side at a time. And it's okay if they're not perfectly straight. You just want to make sure your pages are going to fit in your book. And trust me, it's easier to do this before you add your mechanism to your box. It's kind of hard to give them a little trim before you, or after you've put it in your box. So make sure you do this before. So we've got them all angled like this. So now we're going to just make sure before we stick it in there that our page is going to fit. So we're going to slip our little page right on there, and looky there. It fits. Just going to check all of them, which they should be okay. But trust me, it's easier to do this now than after it's adhered to the box. Okay, we are good to go. So now we're going to grab our box. We're going to take the backing off of our hinge mechanism, and we're going to attach it to the box. Okay, so again, it's going to open this way, and this now is the spine of our book. So we're going to take our hinge mechanism and we're going to attach it to the spine, centering it left to right and top to bottom. And it should fit right in that box. Now you can mark it, or you can just do what I'm doing and eyeball it. And you're going to stick it down. Now you really want to make sure you burnish really, really well. And be gentle because it is paper. You don't want to poke a hole in your paper. So once you get that attached, you just want to find the folds of your box lid again. And where it's going to fold up here. And there you have it. Ta-da. Now it's going to do this for a while, but that's okay. The more you work it, it's going to stay in there. And you will add a ribbon closure to tie it closed. So there you have it. That's how we do this. And then I went ahead and made all my pages, decorated them all, decorated the inside of the box. And the very last thing you're going to do is add your pages to the book. I like to start at the back and work my way forward. So you'll take the backing off of your score tape. I like to do one side at a time. Take it off here and get the other front started. And then you're just going to slip your pages down. And again, you're not going to go over your score tape because you want to make sure that your page will lie flat. And you just press it down like that. So there you go, everybody. That's how I upcycled the gorgeous Graphic 45 Club G45 Joy to the World Angelic Altered Book Box and turned it into a mini album. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Bye.